Welcome once more to Let's Play Seven Kingdoms 2 and the Fryhtan Wars. Now this is actually a bit hilarious because I've tried to record this since quite a few times. Well, I did record one round, you've seen that, and I apologize for the sound effects being too loud. However, this time we're going to play as a Fryhtan, and as I said, I've been recording this for quite a few times now. I think this is my fourth or fifth take on this. Simply because I kept messing up the settings. No, not the settings, but because something always went wrong. So the first time I did it, I had the OBS freezing on me, so it was recording the same frame over and over again. So the picture was pretty much stopping, but the audio went on, so the recordings were messed up. And I had a very good round there. The second time I think I messed up the game itself. The third time I noticed the sound effects were too loud. It was really not pleasant. I mean, I know it's probably also not so pleasant in my human playthrough, but it's even worse with the Fryhtans because they are much louder. At least that seemed to me, and so I scrapped those recordings as well. Then I had a game where things just went too bad too quick. So that was my last round, and now I'm going to try this one more time. I hope this goes better. Let me just turn that the sound down on my headset for a bit. Okay, so we are going to use a bit different stats than or a bit different settings than I use in the human playthrough. First off, of course we're playing Fryhtans. And you notice that there is a difficulty difference here in the level. That's because, for example, the resources make the game more difficult for you as a Fryhtan because the humans use resources and get more powerful. Whereas if you have very little resources, the humans will not get that powerful that quick. Which means you'll have an easier time. And the game considers that. Okay, we'll play with 5 humans and 1 other Quitson. And I'm going to play as Enslaving, simply because I like lizard people and because their ability is quite fun. Each of those races is different. I like to think of them as incorporations of something or some aspect of the world. Like those guys are obviously plants and quite powerful. Those guys are insects and quite nasty. They have very cheap troops. And can pretty much swarm you. They can also hire or educate other insects, like bees and I think termites, although the latter are quite useless. Those guys can hire animals, which is also fun, but I don't know, it doesn't seem that useful to me. Minotaurs aren't that strong in combat, but they have the ability to transform life points into energy, and energy into no, not that. They can transform gold into life points that way, or the other way around, or they can transform resources into any of those. However, it doesn't consider that this would technically allow you to use resources, so the game would actually be a bit easier if you play a Minotaur with on a map with loads of resources. Grokken are very big, very bulky units, quite strong fighters, but I don't like them because their special ability is kinda useless in my opinion. And because they are big, and sometimes the AI bugs out because they are so big. I suppose it has to do with pathing, because they can't go to a target and then they just stand around like idiots and let everyone else beat them up. It doesn't happen too often, doesn't happen very long, because they learn ranged attack quite early, but it's still annoying. Those guys use war machines and they're quite frightening, quite strong. They have a shield, which is always a benefit, but I don't like them that much. Simply because I don't use war machines. So we'll use the Enslaving. The other settings are mostly the same as usual. I want a large explored map without fog of war. I won't start with much money. We'll go to low here. We'll get into wars quite fast, so don't worry about that. We'll use 10 resources. The humans can get a ton of those. And yeah, those are the settings, and we'll dive right into the game. Uh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, I think I've shown you that. Although the game was patched earlier, maybe this was fixed. Let's see. Nope, it still resets. So that's a thing. Okay. Now let's get into the actual game. You will see that we have a small difference here. We don't have a reputation shown here, we have life points. Life points are a secondary currency we need for pretty much everything a Fryhtan can do. Also, can I get those 3 towns? That would be amazing. Yeah, so if I want to breed a new Fryhtan, I don't need any civilian. I kind of transform into one. I only need life points and a bit of gold. And of course, time. So let's actually do that. I want to breed. All Fryhtan races have different costs. So, yeah. Breeding Grokken is very expensive. Breeding another Bragma is very, very cheap. Yeah, what else do we have? Also note that buildings cost you life points as well, so try to keep at least some points available. Yeah, just around. Okay. Also, let me get into my strategy here. First thing you need to do as a Fryhtan is breed some more Cruels, and then build another lair. What you need is a lair that is connected to at least one town. So we'll probably build it here, because that means I can get both of those towns, and because we will be near the edge of the map. In fact, I will try to get those. No, I can't get all 3 of those. I will build it here. It's also not very far from my original lair, so it should be done reasonably fast. Note that you should always try to send the a Cruel out, not your all high. The reason is simply the education. Let me just clean my screen for a moment. Okay, so the reason is, while this guy is out building the lair for me, the all high, who is still here, will train those guys as well as those guys. If I had sent my all high, I would have either had to appoint one of those guys to Ordo, which is the Fryhtan equivalent of a general, and have him educate those, although he's quite poorly at that. Or I just have to accept them not gaining any skill, and I think, especially in the early game, it's useful to have those additional skill points, and the additional health that comes with those skill points. Okay. Now, something else I want to point out for the early Fryhtan game is that you must take over a town. Your initial resources will be enough to enslave one town and to go from there. And unlike the AI strategy, which is build another lair and then raid a human kingdom, this actually works in most cases. There are cases when everything is kind of messed up and you will still lose the game, at least with those settings. If you play with a small treasury, you will have to do that. You have to start this way. Don't even bother with those armed fortresses here. Your army is not sufficient for those, yet. We will take those out, but your starting army is not good for those. You can't kill those, you can't destroy those. Also, while we are building here, a word about Fryhtan research. Pause the game quick. Actually, no, I'll leave it running. Fryhtan research is done in the lair. Basically, you go to your research dealer, I guess, and you download the knowledge for life points. I don't know how that works, but you just pay those life points and then you have that technology. Sometimes there is a second level of technology you can buy once you have the first one, but it's not such a big deal. Okay, yeah, I usually sell my first lair simply because I need the bit of extra cash, and sometimes the life points are enough to give you another Fryhtan. This, of course, depends on your race. You will always get about 150 life points for selling a lair, which is half the cost of it. So if I was playing Bregma, for example, I could have probably gained 1 or 2 more Fryhtans with those life points. Okay, once my All High has reached the lair, I will have everybody go out and take over town. Now I would actually have to, or I should have checked the nations of the surrounding kings. Simply because it is generally good to have a king or to take over a town that is not of the nationality of the kingdoms around you. So for example, we are lucky here. We get to take over Nara, which means there is no Japanese king, because that's the Japanese capital in most games. So we can take over this without any concurrence at first. The Chinese king from here will very soon drop by and try to take over this town. So we'll have to start with this one. And then once we've patched up and feel better, we will take out this town. Well, we won't take it out, we'll take it over. Also, as usual, we'll want to set our All High to retreat. And then we'll get right into fighting. Now, one of the things I do like about playing as a Fryhtan is that you you actually have a lot faster paced game, because the difference is that you have the advantage at the beginning of the game. You can breed or you can create soldiers from thin air, basically. And your troops are stronger than the human recruits. Also, I have to withdraw a few guys here. I usually try to avoid losing Fryhtans at the early game during the enslavements. This is vital because you will need those guys later on. I can't have them die during that, so I would appreciate you going back. So would you let him go through? Thank you. Get the hell out of there. Damn it. Yeah, I said I wouldn't, I'd like to not lose anyone, and then I lose someone. That's just how things go for me. Note that those guys are civilians, so they don't give us much money, but since town defenders usually have a bit higher health than normal civilians, they will give us a lot of life points, so we should be good there. Okay, you... Okay, by the way, this of course is the reason why we can't see our reputation counter here. Simply because we are killing civilians in great amounts. So, of course, our reputation is pretty much about 0. And now I have to have the All High take care of the rest. Oh my, the first king is already down. Oh, okay. That's fun. Okay, yeah, we beat the defenders, and so now all that's left is killing the remaining resistance, which happens on its own. It's just attacking, and yeah, we won't gain life points for that, I think. Doesn't matter though. Okay, and now we have a slave town. Slave towns are still considered neutral, so I can't recruit peasants from there. I can't, if I build a fortress here, I can't recruit those guys. So, yeah, it's still a neutral town. However, once I have a lair attached to it with a leader, I will gain tribute from it. If there is no lair and I beat the resistance to 0, nothing will happen. If there is a lair and the resistance reaches 0, they will become my slaves. That being said, yeah, you have to have your leader nearby. So if I take my All High out, I still have a slave town, but I won't gain anything. Okay, let's leave the game running here, because I need to take care of that. And because I need to wait anyway. Tribute is paid every month, so at the first of each month I will gain 1/12 of this annual tribute. Tribute only depends on the amount of peasants you have in this town, so or on the population of the town. It doesn't matter if any of those guys become workers or if they stay peasants. The only thing that matters is their amount. Okay, I think we'll buy this. And now we have access to the special building of the Exivum, although we currently can't afford one. So I'll have to wait with that. Well, I'll try to do it very soon though. We'll also look into expanding to here, to Arguin, once we captured Nara and once we filled this lair. Might have to hurry though, because the Carthaginians are being present on the map. In fact, one of them might already be heading for our for this town down here. I suppose this guy will try to take it over, although he might just be going for Panormus first. The AI can spread quite fast. Okay, by the way, if I manage to get a human civilian and place and build a building here, like a factory or whatever, I could get those people to work for me. And in fact, I could have him build an inn and take over towns like I would as a human. And I could even build a pseudo-human kingdom, but I don't want to do that right now. I mean, I'm playing as a Fryhtan, so why would I try to reenact human kingdoms, yeah? However, it's a possibility. And you can actually build like a slave economy, because those people will also buy from my markets. And if I had a resource nearby, like if I was here, I could just try to get this... I could attack this town until one peasant joins me. I could have him build a mine here and a market here and all that stuff. So mine, factory, market. You get the gist of that. And I would have an economy. I could start trading with other kingdoms. I could start selling stuff. I could start buying stuff. And I would gain a lot of money from that. So I would be independent of the slaving. Although I don't care about that actually. Yeah, this is a mistake. He will lose that. As I said, the Fryhtan troops will be better than any human soldier, at least at first, but once the humans can outnumber you, you are screwed. It is simple as that. Also, I won't build that one. We are too broke for that. I will have a stronger economy very soon, although... as a Fryhtan, your main income is generally tribute and recovered treasure, which is what you gain for killing other humans. Since we have to do that anyway due to the life points we need in order to sustain everything, that is okay. Yeah. I don't see why we're losing life points here, but who cares? Here. I think we might be ready to attack another town soon. Let's breed one more Fryhtan. And then I will go... Yeah, you see there, we got a bit of money. Not very much though, so once this Fryhtan has been bred, I will take over Nara. And then I'll cut the video. Because I think that covered the basics of being a Fryhtan. And we'll get into the game, or into more of the game, very soon. And by the way, I'm going to record about 5 episodes this time, and I will upload those fairly soon, probably today. And I will release them all today, because I haven't been recording the entire week, or I have been, but those episodes had to be scrapped. And I'll make a towns video with the complete details. But yeah, I've been kind of busy lately, and that should be enough for now. So back to the game. We still didn't have a full lair, so what I will try to do here is I will still look after my crews and try not to lose another one. In fact, I might actually send you back. No, not yet. Once his health reaches the reds, I will send him back. Actually, you might be in trouble. Yeah, you get back. I think those ice things really hurt. If one of those would hit you in real life, I mean, they expand quite heavily, and that's what causes a lot of damage. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to get one of those in the face in real life. Although I don't want to get many things in my face in real life anyway. But you get my point. Also, you get the hell out. Okay, and remember to always plunder before you burn the place down. There we go. We have a second slave town, so now we have a much stronger economic backbone. Which means we can now... oh, look at that. The Red Kingdom is all over the place already. I don't want that to happen. I think I will go to war very soon. First things first, though. I need a few... let's actually check the... can I build a layer so that it connects to all 3 places? No. Actually, to all 2 towns? No, I can't. Okay, so that doesn't matter. Which means I can use this place for mage towers. Let me explain that quickly. The mage tower is a building only Enslaving can create. And that will create... that will allow me to cast spells. In this case, free... oh, I bought wound units. I wanted freeze units, actually. In this case, wound and freeze units. Those spells have life energy cost attached to them that comes... or that is determined on the distance from the tower. So there's a base cost. I think it's 30 points for freezing units. Plus whatever it is you need to cover the distance from your tower. So if I wanted to shoot over to like this point of the map, I would probably have to drop about 1,500 to 2,000 life points. You will see they look a bit similar to the Seeds of Power here. We have this bar which changes over time. There is no way to accelerate that as far as I know. Also, Brian Hammond is out. I don't like him. So there's that. And there is always... yeah. So we'll have to wait for that to charge. You can only cast spells once it is completely full. However, the first charge takes a bit longer than any subsequent charge simply because it's... your spells don't drain the entire thing. They pretty much never do. I don't think any of the spells actually drains it. Although teleport units might do. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. Okay, so... oh, he's going down here. Apparently they don't like each other. Is he at war with anyone? Let's see. No, he's not. So he's just being a dick here. And causing earthquakes. I hope he doesn't hit my towns. The thing is, slave towns are usually quite small due to the enslavement process requiring you to kill most of the inhabitants. He's such a dick. Which means they also grow much slower than most other things. And this guy got into war with everybody, eh? 2 wars at once, that is risky. You can win that. Also, I will be in a war with the... Green Kingdom very soon. I don't know why he seems to consider those towns still up for grabs, and I don't like that because he could take this town over. It's much bigger. It's actually unclaimed, but no, he's going for my town. Then again, that is one of the reasons why this is so fast paced. Okay, so freeze units will freeze everybody in this little blue square. As you can see here, the action will cost me 30 life points. If I go to here, it will cost me about 1,300 life points. If I go to here, it will cost me about the same. This is much closer, so it's not that much. Okay, so this is why you should always keep a few life points back. You should just have them around, basically. Although, luckily, we are not in too much trouble here because we are still... or we're going to be fighting very close to our towers. For now. Later on, we will just fire across the entire map because we will be flossing our teeth with... or flushing our teeth with life energy, but until now, it's best to have all wars close to your lair, close to those towers, so you don't... spend all your life points on freezing units, killing units, doing that stuff. Okay. I'm going to cut the video here, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.